Midnight Milkshake listeners. You might be able to hear it in my voice if you're very perceptive, but I am indeed on my period. I'm on day 2. Everyone knows that's the worst day.
Can I just real quick, if you're a listener to this podcast and you were able to just tell from her voice right off the bat that she's on her period, stop listening. Go seek help.
Yeah,
that's too much.
Yeah, you're too involved. You're too deep at Milkshake.
You're too deep in the milkshake.
You're too deep into the milkshake
If you're
culture.
sipping a milkshake going, the chef who made this is on their period, throw the milkshake away.
Yeah.
Get out of the diner.
That's real.
Midnight
Milkshake.
But anyway, you were saying?
I mean, it just is hard because, you know, obviously I live with you, Robert, and you're a man, and you don't know the first thing about just like how bad having a period can truly feel. You just don't even know. You've never known. One time I had my period and you had a nosebleed at the same time. And that was the only time I've ever felt that you were even trying to experience empathy with me.
And you know what? I'll say this. And I'm not saying this in any offensive or rude way, but when I had my nosebleed, I wasn't walking around like, go easy on me. My nose is bleeding.
People always talk about this, but if men bled out of their dick once a month, they certainly would be taking that time off of work.
Can I say this? I think that if men bled out of their dick once a month, we'd handle it easily.
Okay.
I think if men were bleeding out of their dicks, they'd just be taking it like troopers. Because boys rule and girls drool. That's me trying to go down like the alt-right manosphere pipeline. I'm just not very good at it. I'm like, hey fellas, I think boys rule and girls drool. I wish my dick bled. Yeah. And then I just lose all, like, none of the Tate fans find me.
Yeah. You're just in the girls have cooties camp.
I'm in the girls have cooties camp.
You're like, girls, they have cooties. They're like, girls are taking our jobs and ruining our lives.
Yeah. But no, I understand. And I'm trying to be sensitive to you, and I'm trying my best.
And I appreciate that. I just am, like, dare I say, in a lot of pain. And I showed you the guy who prayed for his wife on her period, and it was like really offensive. And he was basically insinuating that when his wife has her period, she's lazy, and he was asking God to help his wife not be lazy.
Who was this?
I showed you. It was just like some like douchey guy that everyone was clowning on, who was like doing a prayer. He's like, "Hi guys, today I'm here with my wife. She's on her period, so I want to just say a prayer for her." And then he goes on to be like, "Lord, please help my wife not be fucking lazy and get her chores done, even though she's on her period." And everyone was like, "This guy fucking blows."
Yeah. Well, I guess I would never do that because you do your chores.
So true.
But at the instant you stop a chore, I'm on Instagram being like, "Please pray for my wife."
Exactly. Please pray for my wife. She's not doing her chores.
I've noticed a lot of like traditional masculinity manosphere guys, they're big on their wives doing chores. And I'm like, isn't it supposed to be the opposite? Like if you're all about like women suck, men rock, wouldn't you be like, I'm a man, I do it all? And instead,
you think. But in the same way that you're saying, it's like if you were a real man, wouldn't you be trying to bleed out of your dick and also make the bed? But like that's why your manosphere content hasn't taken off. Yeah. It hasn't resonated. I mean, okay, for what I discern though, it is like basically what men want is all of the money, but then they also don't want to have to like do anything.
Well, what
I don't really know what they want.
Well, what I've gathered from the current manosphere content is they want men to be totally in charge because men are dominant alpha hunters, and also they want you to feel really bad for men.
Right, yeah.
That seems to be a new ingredient where it's like they like modern manosphere toxic masculinity guys, like they want you to take extreme pity on them.
Yeah.
Which doesn't seem to fit like the rest of the rhetoric.
Yeah, I never knew that there was like a pity party element to like being a man.
Yeah.
Feel sorry for me. Isn't it hard to be a man?
Yeah. Well, it's like those guys will go to like those alpha male boot camps. They'll do insane shit. And then they kind of like, they'll kind of look at the camera and be like, isn't it crazy that society makes us do this?
Yeah.
And meanwhile, society's like, we never asked you to do this.
But not even that, like you guys invented society.
That's true.
Just, like, it's really hilarious to exist in a patriarchal society and then have men be like, look at how the patriarchy makes us sad. Anyway, here to reinforce the patriarchy.
Well, that is one thing about all like the men's mental health content. And like, we need to be talking about men's mental health that like, I don't like. Not that I don't think men's mental health is important or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like all of that content seems to be almost like at women it seems to be like, these women today, they don't even know what men are going through. And it's like, in my experience, the people who are most dismissive of men's mental health is other men.
Right.
It's never like some lady who's like just pissed her husband's crying.
Women have always been deeply empathetic, if anything, too much.
Yeah.
To men's struggle.
Yeah.
Women have always been like, men need to cry more. Like, talk about your feelings. That's also been a huge part. Like, I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Haven't women always been encouraging men to like open up and talk about their feelings? It's only men who don't want men to be vulnerable.
Well, men will be like on the internet and they're like, no one ever asked me about my feelings. And then their wife will be like, hey, so how are your feelings? It's like, it's fucking just leave me alone.
Yeah.
Not you.
Go do the dishes.
Go do the fucking dishes.
Are you on your period?
Hey, are you on your period? And she's like, no. Are you bleeding out of your dick? And he's like, yeah, I am. Sorry, I didn't even.
Not handling it well. It's day 3.
It's day 3.
Of my dick bleeding.
My dick bleeding. You know what I think? You know what I think men would do?
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I think would be cool if men got periods, is I think this is something men could do that I guess women could do, but I think it's a very male version of it. It's like men, you know how when men do that trick to like waiters, like old rich guys, they'll like have like a $20 bill and they'll do the handshake and like pass the 20. I think like businessmen would do that with tampons. If it's, they know. Because if you're like businessmen, you're on the board. Like all your dick bleed cycles have linked up. So you just come to a meeting and you're like, Carson, how are you? And then you give a tampon so Carson can put it in his dick. Hey, quick check-in. Are any of the listeners or watchers enjoying this?
Dude, when your dick cycle sync.
We're not monetized yet on YouTube. So
Not quite.
So this is the kind of talk we can do. We got to fit this in before we're too corporate.
Right.
Before we're too big.
Before we're making money hand over fist.
Hand over fist.
And our advertisers don't like us talking about when your dick cycle synced with your bro. Real bros cycle synced. Dicks all bleed in at the same time. Yeah, all our dicks bleeding right now.
Yeah, so if you liked that, leave a comment, engage. Let us know. If you didn't like it, please also let us know.
Let us know. You know,
if you're like,
direction.
this is not the direction we want,
no,
that's totally fine.
It just is interesting though that I'm like, there aren't that many like good solutions to like period pain and symptoms.
Well, I also do think it is like that is something where it's like there is no like equivalent force, because also it is interesting too, because it's like men always like, I guess the equivalent would be like men used to be like, yeah, you know, women have to deal with like the matters of the womb, so to speak, but man, we got it hard, we've got to be at work all day. But now it's like women work too, so it's kind of like there's nothing. I mean, there's really nothing men have that women don't in terms of pity party.
People talk about this in regard to Genesis and the fall of man, but they talk about how when man fell from heaven, women were cursed with the pain of childbearing, and then men were cursed with having to work for all of their food and to support their lives, etc. And so that's why 50-50 relationships like don't make any sense, because it's like women's curse is already childbirth. Men's curse is the working part.
Men's curse is getting adequately compensated for their labor.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, fuck, these curses are so terrible.
And then it's like, but men have just decided that they're going to also try to burden women with their curse.
Yeah, I also like, I here's what I do think. I think I was about to be like, women don't really even seem to be trying to get men to feel bad for them for their periods. But I have to be honest, I think it's like they probably did try for the first like few years, and men just have zero empathy.
Yeah, men really don't have any empathy.
So, yeah.
Also, like you said, it's like if one day they did just start bleeding out of their dicks, they'd, you know, try to be like performatively macho about it.
Yeah.
But something men don't have to deal with, or like at least, you know, most men, is nails. Nails. Okay. So I, Dana Donnelly, in the last couple of years, have started getting my nails done pretty consistently. And as many women do in their nail journey, I've slowly, you know, desired more complex nails, more intricately designed nails. And if you are someone who is chronically online, as I am, if you're someone who's in Pinterest, you know that these girls be getting these crazy sets, different design on every finger, different color on every finger, you know, even like some people get like textured nails, people have like pierced nails. There are so many different varieties of nail designs and textures, like you don't even know. But here's what I'll say. when you go in person to a nail salon and you show them a picture from Pinterest, every nail tech will look at you like you're fucking crazy. Like you brought a GUN. Like you brought a GUN to the nail store. You try to show them a Pinterest, oh, I want pierced nails. And you're at the local like Lucky Nail across the street from your house. These ladies look at you like you are trying to murder them. Like
Of
they are
course.
so deeply confused. I'm like, but then my question is, Dana Donnelly, I've been searching. I've been going to like different, Robert can attest to this. I've been going to like many different nail shops. I've tried like almost like every single nail shop in a 2-mile radius of us, which there are like probably 10, 15 in the 2-mile radius. I've tried almost every one. And every time I go in and immediately I'm like, no, they're not going to be able to do my like complex nail design. And so I usually like modify it. But even my modification usually is kind of botched. Right now, you'll notice I have palm trees on my middle fingers. They don't look exactly how I envisioned, but I have to accept that it is what it is. But my question is, sorry for this is kind of long-winded. My question is, these girls with these crazy nail designs, how does this come to fruition for you? Who are you seeing that's agreeing to do this like intricate artwork on each individual one of your nails? Because it is not, Tiffany at Happy Nail. Tiffany at Happy Nail, if you want that, she thinks that you're trying to murder her. That's all.
Oh, was that all? Oh, is that it?
Well, feel free to cut me off anytime.
No, because I wanted to get to the end of that, and I have a few takes on this.
Okay.
A few massive takes.
Yeah.
So first of all, you're like, I don't understand. All of these girls who go viral on the internet have crazy designs on their nails. Yet when I go into my local nail salon and ask for a crazy design on my nails, they look at me like I'm crazy. How are these girls doing it? These girls are crazy. Like when you say, like, if your sample size is only girls who go super viral on the internet, you're essentially taking a crazy sample size. That is like the most extreme nail designs done in the world are what goes viral on TikTok. So if you're even seeing it, that means this is the most insane person about their nails. They're in like the 0.01 percentile. So that's one. You're wondering why it's not normal when you copy like these crazy girls on TikTok's nail designs. That's like if I try to move like Jake Paul in my real everyday life and was like shocked when people responded odd to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that
like you're lighting your neighbor's furniture on fire in a pool.
Yeah.
You're like, why is everyone so mad?
I'm doing what I see people on the internet. It's everyday, bro.
Yeah.
I see people on the internet do that all the time.
Dude, that's actually such a fun like video series idea is like living like Jake Paul every day for a week from 2016. Living like Jake Paul in 2016 every day for a week.
You would make it only a couple weeks before you were either shot or arrested.
Well, I would do 1 week.
Oh, okay.
And it would just be like being like pretend like you're in Team 10 for 1 week in 2016.
Okay.
Kind of that's a fun idea.
I mean, yeah, it's a fun idea.
It's a little too involved. For me,
yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I do think it's like obviously it's a pre-selected sample size of the most extra gals out there.
Yeah. Also, I'll say this for your nails. Your nails they look really nice.
They
and then
do.
on one nail, you have like a palm tree drawn in like nail polish. I'm like, that's insane. To me, that's outside the purview of doing your nails.
And I normally would agree that it seemed like it would be outside the purview. But then when you go on Pinterest, clearly it's in some purview. Clearly it is in some purview because these nails exist.
If I go on the internet, I can find 100 photos of people with a tattoo of a skull on their neck. That doesn't mean that if I get a neck skull tattoo, everyone in my life is just going to be like, oh, hey, Robert, what's up? Anyway, back to doing normal business with a normal guy. It's like copying the stuff you see on the internet in your real life. Like there's always going to be friction there. Also, so here's also my thing with this. The very fact you say, do my nails.
Yeah.
That to me does not suggest an art project. So you basically, this poor lady, you walk into this nail salon, she's used to doing people's nails, and you say, and also, by the way, I have an art project for you.
She was pissed at me. The lady who did my palm tree was pissed at me for so many reasons. But at one point, she was just like talking in Vietnamese. And then I just heard her like, and she's clearly angry. I could tell from her tone. Talking Vietnamese angry. And then I just hear occasionally, palm tree. While she was painting my palm tree. And then she kept looking at me being like, I don't have the right brush. I don't have the right brush.
Yeah. And I think she meant that literally and metaphorically. She did not have the brush, like the metaphorical brush within her.
Yeah.
Again, it's like if I go into a barber
Yeah.
and I say, all right, so I just like want a standard haircut. And then on the side of my head, I'd like you to draw Kramer from Seinfeld. Any barber is going to be like, what? Huh?
I mean, hair art is a thing. Like,
but that right there is the problem. It's an incredibly niche, crazy online thing. Here's what also I would say. She did your palm trees, right?
She did my palm trees. And I like them. To be so clear, I'm not even complaining. Like, do they look exactly how I pictured?
That's a complaint, by the way. If you're wondering what a complaint is, that's what a complaint is. I'm not complaining. Do they look like how I pictured? No.
I tipped plenty.
I would argue there's no such thing because fundamentally it's like you ask them to provide a service to me that's outside the purview of what they do.
It's technically not though, because they do say they offer nail art and design. It's just like an extra $5 a nail.
That's too small.
I simultaneously agree, but also I'm like, if every cool girl online has really intricately done nails.
Not every cool girl online has intricately done nails. You're self-selecting a sample size. Most girls don't have that. Also, it's just an art project. It's an art project.
I know, but it's like, how do I get the nails of my dreams?
You don't even want them. My thing is that I look at your hand. It's like, you don't even want them. Okay, you have a palm tree on your 2 middle fingers. Okay, now what?
I like it. It's fine. Who knows how many nail sets I'll have before I die? I think about that a lot.
You think about that a lot?
Well, yeah. When I think about like my life, it's like if I have one nail set a month and I live till I'm 80, it's like how many nail sets do I even have? It's like if I don't have palm trees now, then when?
I think what you actually just demonstrated with your math is you have so many opportunities for nail sets. That's actually what you just said. There's a ton of months in that. There's so many.
Well, no, because it's like, okay, I have 50 more years on this earth.
Yeah.
Times 12. How many months is that?
Is that 600?
No, it's 500 times 10 and 500 times 2. So, no, not 500. Sorry.
It's 50
it's
times
50 times. It's
so
50
it's 600.
Times 2. Yes, it's 600. Correct. So I only have
Welcome
600
back to our
nail sets.
podcast segment I like to call slow math.
I'm going to cut out the time so it seems like I did it fast.
No, we're going to leave all that in. Also, I also think it's such a great demonstration of like on this podcast, we will jump topic to topic about society, about culture, about workers, about the gig economy, about parenting. And we're just go, go, go. Hot take, hot take, hot take. And then a simple multiplication problem. We're both just like, well, it's
but Robert, we're writers, which means we don't know how to do math. Yeah. It doesn't mean we write.
It doesn't mean
means we don't know how to do math.
I ran from math. But
anyway,
going back. All right, whatever. To me, it's like as soon as you realize it inconveniences them even in a second, like why not just abandon the palm tree thing entirely? Because most of your nails are just like these nice little light pink nails.
Because I was asking myself, what would the hot girl with the palm tree nails do? And she wouldn't abandon
the hot girl with the palm tree nails. I bet people in her life keep her at arm's length. I bet all these cool girls on the internet, in my experience, there's friction with the people in their life. Again, it is like if I wanted to mimic Jake Paul, there'd be a lot of friction.
I think that you're probably right. I think it's just in my head. I want to be someone who's okay with being disliked.
Yeah.
And has the nails that I want.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do whenever I go to a restaurant. I bring a sketch pad, and when I order, I also flip the sketch pad around to the waiter, and I go, also draw me a swan. I'll tip a little bit extra. Draw me a fucking swan.
And that's order art.
Because that's who I want to be. I want to be like the type of guy online who goes, draw me a swan.
Yeah.
To everyone.
Anyway, next time I've decided I will not be asking for an art project. I am going to get fun color tips. But I think that is par for the course and normal. Didn't seem to disrupt them that much.
Yeah. Them complaining in Vietnamese, blah, 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 blah.
Palm tree. No, yeah.
Palm tree.
No, tips are standard. They love to do tips. They know how to do tips.
Also, I do like to imagine that I assume there actually is like a Vietnamese word for palm tree, but she intentionally said that in English just so you'd know. This is not about something unrelated.
No, I bet that that's true.
I will also say this with Dana. Here's the thing. Girls love to be like, drive me to a nail salon. It's an hour further away than you ever think it will be. Every time I drive Dana to get her nails done or get her hair done or go thrifting, it's always like an hour further than anyone planned.
Because I want to go, like, okay, the reason why recently I had you drive me to a nail place that was far is because I read online that they specialized in nail art. And if you looked at their Yelp, you would see many pictures of complexly designed nails.
We drive to this place. It's kind of way out there. Dare I say it's not in the middle of nowhere. It's not like in the wilderness, but it's in like the middle of nowhere. It's like in a strip center in a suburb we've never been to. And I'm like, online it says they specialize in nail art. It's like they can say anything. It's like when you go to a diner in like the middle of nowhere and they say they have like the #1 cup of coffee in America.
Then where were the pictures from? Huh? That being said,
they lie all the time on pictures.
You think they had fake pictures on their
No,
Yelp?
but I could see them borrowing pictures from elsewhere. This was the kind of place that if they did steal pictures from elsewhere on the internet, perhaps even Pinterest, no one would call them on it. It's kind of like sometimes when you drive past like, I guess they would have these in bodegas a lot, but they have like pictures hanging up all over the windows of food. And I'm like, this isn't food you've made.
No.
These are standardized bodega pictures.
Right, you're using stock images.
Yeah.
As false advertisement.
And by the way, I think that's fun for bodegas, but when it comes to nails, but also like, when I order food from a bodega, I don't actually expect it to look like the picture. Whereas you seem to be like, I want you to do art like on your website. Also, the website, even if it is theirs, that's like the most complicated.
Yeah.
That's the most complicated.
But don't we just like want to live in a world where businesses can do the services they're claiming to offer?
I think we want to live in a world where where customers aren't trying to max out a business every time they go in.
Okay, that's fair.
Just because their upper limit is nail art, I don't think you as a customer should be testing that limit. It's kind of like whenever a mom goes into a restaurant, she's always like, I'm going to test the waiter today. Right. I'm going to see how far I can stretch the rubber band that is the waiter and the chef's patience before it snaps back or breaks.
I guess getting really intricate nails is the Gen Z equivalent of when boomer moms try to order stuff that's not on the menu at restaurants. I guess that is kind of the equivalent.
Well, it is interesting. I was thinking about this. Every restaurant is a buffet to a boomer mom because they just take the menu as a suggestion and they just look at the menu as like, so these are all the ingredients I have to work with. And I will take that item from this food entree. I'll take this item from an appetizer. Moms will be like, so can I get this cocktail? Can I get it virgin and dry? And can I use that as a seasoning on the fish from this entree and put that with the side from this other entree? Yeah. And also, what is this table made out of? And the waiter will do 9 out of the 10 things the mom asks. Then you'll be like, Mom, what are you doing? And she's like, well, you can ask. Why not?
Never hurts to ask.
It hurts to ask.
And we always say it does hurt.
It hurts to ask.
It hurts to ask.
Hurts me.
Hurts your kids, hurts the waiter.
Well, that is also it. It's just like, it never hurts to ask. It's like, that's only if you're assuming extreme emotional and social discomfort doesn't count as a hurt.
Yeah. I mean, it only doesn't hurt to ask if you are a psychopath.
Yeah.
Which, again, boomers seem to be.
Yeah.
They do move like clearly they have no feelings and they assume no one else does either.
Yeah. And that's how you move when you go into the nail salon with a TikTok pulled up.
Again, I think that I am starting to rethink. Okay, how do I say this? I was just looking for like the holy grail nail shop where I walked in, I showed them my design, and they just kind of like did it happily. And
you were looking for the holy grail. I think that's also it. It's like you inherently on some level know this is like a massive quest.
Well, okay, here's what I will say. There are girls on Instagram who I think specialize in nail art. And you can like book appointments with these girls who specialize specifically in like doing designs on your nails. And you're right in that if I really wanted like intricate designs, I could probably hit up one of these girls on Instagram.
But I almost feel like if you have to lead with the nail art, you're probably not good at just like doing nails.
Well, but that is the compromise where it's like you're not going to be able to get a good manicure and then also have good nail art. Like it's kind of one or the other. It's like either they're actually doing your cuticles or you're getting like a crazy design. I don't know.
It's a fucked up world we live in.
But that's what I'm saying, in that, like, yeah, men will never understand.
Well, here's what I will say. I did drive Dana all the way out to this place. And as I'm about to drive away after I drop her off, I bet Dana would appreciate the option to leave. Because it's I can tell it's way further out than Dana even intends.
Yeah.
But also she has too much pride to just say, I made a mistake. Let's turn back and go somewhere closer. So I drop her off and then I linger and I just text her and I go, hey, just so you know, I need to do some work on my phone. So I'll be right outside for a few minutes. If you want to leave, that's an option for you. And I just kind of let that float out there. And she went, okay, we can leave.
I will say, I walked in. It was really crowded. They had no record of my appointment. They basically were like, you're going to have to wait. And I immediately sussed out that they were not going to be good at nail art and that the pictures on their Yelp probably were stolen stock images.
But dude, can I say this though?
Yeah.
There is absolutely nothing nicer and cooler than when you're in an environment that you can tell you and the person you came with, or the person you came with. When you're in like a social environment or a place where you can tell that actually deep down someone wants to leave, but they don't yet have the words to formulate, I want to leave. Throw them a life preserver.
Yeah.
There's nothing nicer.
Yeah.
If you're at like a shitty party, you can just be like, man, I kind of like, just so you know, I wouldn't mind leaving.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing you can say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind leaving.
Yeah.
The coolest thing you can say.
Yeah.
Or if you're dropping someone else off at a party, you can be like, just so you know, if the party's weird, I like literally don't mind just like picking you up and leaving.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing in the world.
It is. Because it really, truly, sunk cost fallacy is real. Even if you're like, I'm already here. If you're not having a good time, leave. The only thing you can do is waste more time.
Yeah.
Get out.
Just get out.
Just get out. Life is short.
I remember one time my mom booked us it was like a tour of like a Christmas light display. And it was one of those where you like drive your car through a like area that has like all these Christmas lights. My mom booked the tour. We pull up to this thing. The line of cars is so long just to get in that it stretches like out and like along the highway.
It probably would have been like an hour and a half just sitting in the line to get into the drive-through lights.
Which is like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And so we're sitting in this. It's a long time. And I was like, you know what? I feel like we can just leave. I feel like we can just leave. We can appreciate the effort. We can just leave.
Yeah.
And I will say my mom went, but I already spent the $19.
No, it was 14.
It was $14.
Well, at first we thought she said 40.
And I was like, hey, I get it. $40 is like, that's like a decent chunk of change. And she goes, it was 14. And it is
14?
And dare I say, I think that's a generational thing.
Yeah.
Because not to not appreciate the value of the dollar, it's not that I don't appreciate the value of the dollar. It's that I also appreciate the value of my own emotional well-being. And I feel like the generation above us, they're so focused on like the value of the dollar that they ignore their own emotional well-being. It's like they'll sit in situations they absolutely hate on every level because they already spent $4 on it.
Yeah. I think they also just like underestimate the amount that, dare I say, time is money, baby. And speaking of time being money and not wanting to wait in lines, I normally am like not a big line person. If there's a line, I'm like, let's just freaking go. Like, it's not worth it. But recently, I was a victim of a hype line, and Robert was freaking pissed at me.
Well, let me just say this. Viral food items on TikTok have ruined more outings than anything else in the world. I have had more breakfast outings ruined by chasing a viral breakfast sandwich on TikTok.
Yeah.
I have had more evening outings ruined by chasing a viral dessert on TikTok than anything else.
Okay, this morning, Robert shows me this breakfast sandwich. It's a Sunday morning, this morning. Viral breakfast sandwich. He goes, look up this viral breakfast sandwich. And I go, okay. I look it up. I go, oh my God, it looks so good. It's on a biscuit. I'm like, oh my God, I love a biscuit. Let's go. It's in a neighborhood that we normally don't frequent. If you're in Angelino, this is in Echo Park. We don't like the East Side. Robert and I are not East Side folk.
Because the East Side's very cool and trendy.
Yes, it's very cool and trendy. It's where I lived when I was in my early 20s. I'm in my early 30s now. This is not the place for me.
I would do a lot of stand-up comedy around there. So it kind of like, it's just like cool, trendy environment. And like now I'm like, I feel like I'm too old. I don't have the patience.
Yeah, it's just not for us anymore. But we're like, oh, it's only at this one location in Echo Park. It's this beautiful looking biscuit breakfast sandwich. We're like, okay, let's go. Let's go.
We pull up.
We pull up.
And at first, it's great. There's a parking spot right in front. We're like, this rocks.
There's like some cute seating inside. We're like, okay, great.
Yeah, the vibes are great inside. We order this item off the menu. It's the viral item. Also, it's one of those things where it has a special box drawn around it on the menu. They're like, this is what you get. We ordered it. No problem. Great. We're so excited. We walk outside. We sit down. We're like on the sidewalk. We're like sitting on the sidewalk. Immediately, right in front of us, 2 cars crash into each other at full speed. One car gets pushed like up against the sidewalk. So it's like a few yards directly in front of us.
Like
the airbags go
almost
off.
goes through the building.
Yeah.
Truly. Like stops like right on the curb, right in front
There's a massive puddle of gasoline forming from the car. 911's called. There's a crowd, whatever. Also, in that moment, we heard like in the background, breakfast sandwich for Maddie. That is the thing about living in Los Angeles is there could be a 10-car pileup. There could be a plume of flames like rising toward the ceiling. There could be like dead bodies like strewn across the streets. And in the background, you just feel like, we have a breakfast sandwich for Joshua?
Yeah. Crash, bang, screech, Caesar salad wrap for John. That's what it'd be like. Yeah, that is what happened.
We were at this like very cool, like trendy deli. We were getting breakfast sandwiches. There's a legit car crash, and then the ambulance is called. There's people screaming and yelling. There's crowds forming, and breakfast sandwich for Maddie.
So we're sitting on the sidewalk. I was in a chair that's like maybe 5 feet away from a completely destroyed car with a very distraught lady in the driver's seat who will not leave the car.
Well, she's being tended to, and like EMTs came and whatnot.
But there's like a whole commotion going on. Everyone goes into the restaurant basically being like, can we get our stuff to go?
Because the vibes are off.
The vibe is off. And the people who were in line behind us, they asked to get their breakfast sandwiches to go before we did. Then what happens, very interesting, right after they ask for their breakfast sandwiches to go, the guy comes up to us and tells us that they're out of biscuits and would we like our sandwiches on a bagel. We only wanted the sandwiches for the biscuit. Like that was the whole draw of the sandwiches. And I'm like deeply confused because I saw the people who were behind us getting their sandwiches to go. And so clearly they packed up our sandwiches, gave them to those people, and then we're like, we're out of biscuits now.
Yeah.
And so they put our sandwiches on a bagel. By the way, there's not even bagels on the menu. I don't even know where these bagels are from. So they have biscuits on the menu, but they don't have biscuits, but they have bagels, not on the menu. They go, we can put your sandwiches on bagels. They don't even offer to refund us. I'm like, the whole point of this fucking sandwich was the biscuit. What do you mean?
And also, if you recall, there was a previous viral breakfast spot in LA where we went. We waited in line for like an hour. We get in. They're out of breakfast sandwiches. Here's the thing about viral items online. They just run out of them. And also they have the goal then to when they run out, they act like that's just like, that's your problem. Like, hey, obviously you knew the risk. I'm like, not really, because when I order
Also, I paid for it already.
Yeah, I ordered off your menu. I gave you money, and then you're like, we don't have it. And it was bad, by the way. I was like,
it was
the bagel.
terrible.
But I will
was
say,
horrible.
If there is a silver lining, it's that it was so bad, I bet it would have been bad on the biscuit, which I do think is true.
That is the silver lining. It was bad. It probably would have been bad even with the biscuit.
That being said, it did literally feel like the Truman Show, where whenever Truman tries to leave his environment, like something goes wrong to like
crazy
keep him.
shit happens.
And it's like as soon as we try to leave our normal environment, immediately a car crash, items missing, get the fuck out.
Yeah. So this one was a huge miss, as is basically every viral hunt for an item. They're all like Robert says, a mirage in the desert. They don't really exist.
Every time you see something on TikTok that's like near you and it's a cool, viral, tasty item, don't believe it.
It's not real.
It's not real. It's like seeing a freshwater lake in the middle of the Sahara. That's a mirage. You won't find it. Don't go.
You're hallucinating.
You're crazy. You're better off just going to a place you trust.
Go to a place you know. Any like normal bagel place is going to have a better breakfast sandwich than any like seemingly really hip breakfast sandwich that you see on TikTok.
But we had a great breakfast sandwich a few days ago from a place that's like nearby us.
Yeah.
And it was so good. And then I'm
delicious.
like, because you know what? That's real life, man.
Yeah.
It's not this TikTok shit. Again, there also was just something to when the guy like came up to us and was like, yeah, we're out of biscuits. Not to sound like an old man yelling at a cloud, although I am.
Yeah.
I am kind of. I'm an old man yelling at a cloud where I'm like, what about like, hey, sorry, we're out of the thing you ordered. This is on the house. Or like, we're not gonna charge you for this, or like, here's a refund, or like, you can get a discount next time. Some acknowledgement that it's not my problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
they
like,
really do put the onus on you. They take literally no accountability. They have no apology. There's no remorse in their tone. They're not sorry.
And look, here's what I'll say. I'm not one of those people that's like, the customer's always right. But I'm also not one of those people that's like, the customer is inherently an idiot you should hate. I'm like,
They be acting like the customer is always an idiot you should inherently hate.
also, it's like on their website that says we sell this item until 2 p.m. We arrive at 11.
Yeah.
So, and we order at 11, and it's on their menu with a big circle around
And the people in line behind us got theirs, which I think is
I think there's something wrong there.
crucial to note. But I also think like the lack of hospitality and the bad customer service, that is only found specifically in the east side of Los Angeles. You will never get worse customer service than on the east side of Los Angeles, where we always say, what do they have? They have fucking Fisher Price furniture on the sidewalk. The markup is like 1.5 times anywhere
else. The line is
else.
long, and also they won't have the thing you want.
They don't have the thing you want. They're gonna be fucking rude to you.
I should actually put a caveat here.
Yeah.
The exception is if you like literally just go to like an actual taco stand, not run by a gentrifier. Dare I say sorry?
Totally.
It does feel like that's like the devil's snare of gentrification is like, okay, you'll put all these like shiny, trendy, TikTok viral like places in here. And yeah, it's going to have terrible customer service and the food's going to be worse and you're never going to get it. And it's like, I guess that's what happens when you drive out like actual local family businesses, not to live out.
Not to live out.
Not to live out.
But yeah, if a white kid with a last name that sounds familiar to you, if it's his name on the lease, don't go.
Dude, speaking of viral TikToks, I saw a viral TikTok of a place in New York. I think it's in New York, but I saw a viral TikTok of a pizza place that charges $40 for a pizza. And you already know like the head chef is like a 24-year-old white guy with like arm tattoos and like wearing like a button-up collared shirt, and he wears like these big giant glasses. And then like someone asked him, they're like, why do you charge that much for pizza? And he literally goes, yeah, we do things a little different around here. Like, if it was a parody, it would be a great parody.
That's very Portlandia.
It's very Portlandia. But I'm like, it's one of those things where it's like, if someone made a parody video of this,
I can
I'd
hear
be like,
Fred Armisen saying it in costume.
But also, I'm like, if someone now like did a parody video of like millennial does pizza shop and he charges $40 for pizza, I'd be like, that's kind of hack. Now we've seen that done so many times. But it's a real guy.
Well, but we talk about this all the time. It becomes so quick that it's hack to make a joke about something, but the thing itself never stops. So like our most recent frustration, we talk about this all the time, is we don't like it when your dog is off leash. And obviously it's hack to talk about. We talk about it all the time. So do other people, blah, blah, blah. Your dog is ill behaved and it should be on a leash, da, da, da. It's so hack for me to talk about. Yet, when will it become hack for that to be the case? When will it become hack for you to not have your dog off leash?
Well, it is like this happened recently. We're on a walk. A guy has a massive dog, huge, and it's running up ahead off leash, and we're kind of surprised. It really runs, and we're like, "Whoa!"
Also, because this is a hike where we've seen a lot of crazy wildlife, and at first, this looks like it's just a creature that's part of the crazy wildlife.
And then the owner runs up and is like laughing, like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, and the owner's like laughing, and it is this thing where I'm like, I know.
Well, he makes a joke about his own dog, and he goes, "Oh yeah, he kind of looks like if a wolf and a bear had a baby."
Put it on a leash.
That's not funny.
But also, it's this thing too where like I say this, I'm like, as I'm saying this, I know we've said this so many times on this podcast. I've said it on other podcasts. So have you probably. And I'm like, well, I don't want to keep talking about it because it's boring. I want to talk about what if men bled out of their dicks.
So true.
But instead I'm like, this keeps happening.
It keeps happening.
Well, I would say the biggest cultural hypocrisy I've noticed about like outlawing talking about a thing, but not outlawing the actual thing is for a long time when I was growing up, all media, people would make hacky jokes about if you go to prison, don't drop the soap. And obviously that's referencing like the very serious issue of like people like getting assaulted in prison, right? That's what it's whatever. And culture, pop culture, pundits, journalists came together to make that taboo to joke about. But as far as I can figure, I don't think any big strides were made in like actually cutting down on the actual thing, which is like people getting assaulted in prison.
Yeah, no one is trying to stop actual assault in prison, but they are trying to stop people from joking about that.
And I'm not even out here being like, I let people joke about it, but I would almost say like focusing on how hack it is when people joke about it is maybe like
dismissing the
actual core of the issue. You're just putting your energy in the wrong place. And
but it's like how I always say, like, our culture is very against grape joke. And yet there are so many shows, TV shows, true crime shows about grape. Why grape show, but no grape joke? Why?
I would say even the fact that we have to censor right now what Dana's saying. But yet, if you turn on any Hulu limited series, they all open with graphic attack. Graphic attack.
Graphic attack.
That sounds like it would be like a Mortal Kombat finishing move.
Graphic attack.
Graphic attack.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. But back to lines. Unless you have more on. Do you have more on that?
No, I think the Mortal Kombat graphic attack is about as good as we're getting there. But no, back to the line thing. Speaking of, like, again, back to viral TikToks leading you astray. Dana insisted on going to the Big Chill, which is the frozen yogurt place where Demi Lovato had online beef with a few years ago. What a sentence, what a mouthful. But she insisted we go. And I was down. I'm like, sure, let's try it. Frozen yogurt.
It is 40 minutes out of the way, to be so clear. It's a 40
minutes out of the way, which probably means that the full drive there and back is an hour and 20. Yeah. But I'm fine. I love to drive.
Robert's fine with that.
But it's 40 minutes out of the way, and we pull up. A line, the place is packed, the line goes outside into the parking lot. It's so long. And here's my rule. I never want to be the person to suggest giving up on an activity that someone else wanted to go on, because then you're a hater and you're discouraging. So again, I think sometimes it's important to like leave room for someone to back out of their own idea, but I will never be the person who's like, this sucks, we should leave. Because no, I'm like, if Dana wanted to do this, I was down to do this. I will admit though, I saw this long line after this long drive and I thought, well, clearly Dana is going to suggest we leave. And instead Dana went, I feel like it will move fast. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I try to find parking. Really hard to find parking. The parking lot, it's so packed. Cars are like almost hitting each other. It's so crazy. And in this moment, I admit, I thought Dana would be like, if parking's this hard, let's just go. Instead, she's like, I feel like your car will fit there. So I do an insane parallel parking job in here. Then we get in line. Immediately, a ton of college kids cut us in line. They run right in front of us, a whole mob. By the way, we're like racing this mob of college kids to get in line because we want to be in front of them. They aren't even heading to the back of the line. They're heading like halfway up the line because one of their friends is there.
We raced them to get in line and then they just cut us anyway.
By the way, sidebar, here's my theory about lines. I think that you're only allowed to cut a line to be with your friend who's already in line if you're the same number of people or less. So if you have one friend who's in line, you can go up and be in line with them.
I agree with
If you have two friends in line, you can go up and be in line with them. If you have four friends in line, you and someone else can go and be in line with them because there's more people like
already in the line than are you.
We were at this place and there's like one person in line and like 8 of their friends then run to cut the line. I'm like, the ratio's off. I'm not even saying don't cut a line to be with a friend.
Yeah.
But you have to have a correct ratio.
It has to be more people already in line than people joining.
And so I admit, when this happened, I thought, surely Dana will say, well, the ratio's off. We were just cut by 8 people. We'll leave. Instead, Dana goes, this is going to be really good. Okay. And then
I literally start talking about all the unique toppings they have.
Yeah.
Which is just a million different kinds of cookie dough. And Robert goes, you just keep saying different kinds of cookie dough.
Dana's like, they have so many different toppings. They have cookie dough. They have like a cookie in its dough form. They have like the cookie before you cook it. And it's still just kind of like, what's the word? Dough? Yeah, that's it. And then eventually Dana did go, okay, I think we should just leave because we were not moving at all. And then as soon as we left, Dana was like, I'm glad we left.
Yeah. And I was glad we left.
That being said, I guess with all these cases, we found adventure, we found a story, and isn't that what life is?
That is what life is. Well, we also talk about how sometimes it's fun to go and be disappointed by these viral TikTok breakfast mirages because it reminds you that you actually already have reliable breakfast spots where you can get a good breakfast.
Yes.
And sometimes it's better to have a story and be a little bit disappointed than to like get your reliable breakfast. Sometimes that's better. Sometimes you think, oh, I want like a yummy breakfast this morning. What you really wanted was to be disappointed by the idea of a yummy breakfast. And then next weekend, you can get a real yummy breakfast that you know will be good.
Well, it kind of reminds me, we went on vacation recently to Las Vegas and we went to like this really cool, like awesome, like dinner spot and we loved it. We were so good. And the next day we have a late flight and we're like, let's go to that dinner spot again before we leave. This time we went, it was the wrong time of day. The sun was hitting us. It was so hot. They didn't have all the foods we needed. We were in a different spot. Again, it's like there's only one waitress working. It was bad. And I am like, there's something actually really nice about that because it was basically like the vacation saying, no, it's time for you to go.
Yeah. We weren't allowed to overstay our welcome.
And I think every good vacation, you know it's good because at the end, no part of you wants to stay.
No, you're dying to get home.
That is the best vacation. The best vacations at the end, you go, wow, I stayed for one meal too many.
Because the whole point of a vacation is to mentally prepare you to enjoy and appreciate your real life again.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it. It's to take you out of your real life for long enough for you to recognize how fucking great your real life is.
And that's what it's all about.
And that's what it's all about, baby.
Well, like you listening to this podcast, you're like, I hate these two people. They have insane vocal fry. They're unrelatable. I don't care for them at all. But it's like, yeah, but you listen to us so that you can appreciate how great it is that you don't have to listen to us outside of this, like, you know, one chunk of time a week.
And how peaceful and intelligent your own internal monologue is.
Yeah.
Because you realize like, oh, these people are so grating. And are they like really stupid?
Yeah. They're like, these people are so dumb. I love it when I order an item and they don't have it.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
You guys like that.
You like that.
No, you don't. The milkshakes are with us.
I really don't like how we've really normalized milkshake. I don't enjoy that. I kind of reject that as a name.
Well, then what would you want to call it?
I don't have any alternative. I don't have anything constructive. It also seems like people have somewhat embraced that, but I just want for the record I want the record that someone surely is keeping to show. I've never fully come on board with that.
And on that note,
see you next week, milkshakes.
See you next week, milkshakes. Yay! I want to go get a milkshake. For real.
Okay, I'm excited.
Let's go to the Big Chill and wait in line.
Let's just search milkshake on TikTok.